Hi, everyone, and thanks for checking in with us at Funeral Innovations, Trends, Tips, and Technology, where we chat with leaders in the profession to discuss marketing trends, business tips, and technology innovation. Plus, we discuss how digital marketing helps you better serve your families. I'm Heather Musiewski. I am the Director of Marketing here at Funeral Innovations.
And I'm Joey. I'm the Marketing and Design Coordinator at Funeral Innovations.
And today we're happy to have two folks from NFDA with us. We have, I lost my other script, so sorry. We have Troy Blewett and Anthony Kaniuk. Do you guys want to just introduce yourselves and tell us who you are at NFDA?
Sure. I'm Troy Blewett. I'm the Senior VP of Communications.
I'm Anthony Kaniuk. I'm the Director of Industry Relations.
Awesome. So to get us started, can you just tell us a little bit about NFDA? What's NFDA's mission and how long have you been serving the profession?
Wow, sure. NFDA is the world's largest funeral organization, and our mission is to serve our funeral director members as they serve their families and their communities in the best way that they can. And we do that by providing information, advocacy, and education that helps them perform their jobs better.
Terrific.
And how long have you been serving in the profession? How long has NFDA been around? All that.
I believe it's, Anthony, I don't know if you have the exact date, but it was like 1898 or something like that.
Yeah, it's actually the second oldest association in the world, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah, and I believe it's the most continuous.
Yes.
In terms of time.
Yeah. Gotcha. That's awesome. So because of the pandemic, NFDA is holding its 2020 annual meeting virtually. Can you describe what this will look like and kind of what attendees can expect out of the conference?
Sure. So we've invested in a virtual platform like a lot of people have for their virtual meetings, but that platform is going to let you jump in and, to the best of our ability, allow you to continue to interact with our keynote speakers, with some dynamic education sessions. We're going to have, you're going to be able to select up to 9, you're able to get up to 9 CE credits from a total of 18 education sessions from which you can choose, plus the 3 keynote speakers, the daily keynote. There's a 24/7 Expo hall. You'll be able to interact in that Expo hall through email and chat. And in fact, for a couple hours each day, you'll be able to directly through Zoom talk with any exhibitor booth staff. So we're trying to make it as close to, in the virtual environment, but make as much direct interaction as we possibly can. Anthony? Did you have anything to throw up?
Well, yeah, I think the important part is here, with this virtual, now we always hear that, on site, people always said, I wish my staff member was here, right? So now there's a perfect opportunity for having to get their staff involved. So this is a great opportunity for you to close off that arrangement room and actually have people come in and view these sessions and get educated. And then as the leader of your organization, you can actually sit down with them right after and have a conversation with them about it.
So in lots of years when it's travel required, it's just too expensive to send everybody. But this time it really provides, you have time, it's less time, less investment in terms of cost. Yeah, that's a really great point. And then you can make it a discussion right then, which is also.
Absolutely. And the cost is $199, but for the second member of your firm and on from that, it's $99. So it's really affordable, and especially for people that need CE credits, you're able to walk away for a really economical price in getting CE credits. So.
Yes, for sure.
And if you're a student, it's only $25. So a student has a perfect opportunity to learn even more, and actually be involved.
That's great.
Yeah, that's terrific.
So for people that haven't done a virtual conference, why should people still attend? Like, obviously it's a little bit different, and you've touched on that a little bit, but for anyone who hasn't done that already, why would you say is the biggest reason that people should still come?
Well, I think the reason is that there's going to be a ton of information, a ton of education opportunity, and including, we're also throwing in some networking. So if you've normally gone to convention, you're going to miss the serendipity of missing somebody in the hallway and running into them and all of that. But you've still got the full opportunity to hear new ideas, to hear leading business ideas, to sharpen your skills. So, knowledge is limitless. And yeah, we all like being in person, but the situation is the way it is. And I think as someone dedicated to your profession, there's just a host of opportunity to capture ideas, learn new things, and just brush up on some things.
Also, there's also a huge reward for you guys attending too. There's over $5,000 worth of gifts and prizes that you can get from just being there and attending and going through the process of learning. And that's one of the benefits that we have also.
And
I might add that, whoops, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Those are the gifts that NFDA are giving away?
Yeah, NFDA has a bunch of gift cards that we're giving away, a bunch of prizes of the big day giveaway that we do. But there's also other prizes that people are giving away. I know Homesteader's Life is giving away a Peloton bike if you visit 3 of their booths. So, and that's awesome. There's other people that are giving away things. With this platform also, any exhibitor that is giving away a booth giveaway or anything like that has the opportunity to put it in their booth. But more so, our platform will also have a dedicated page each day that will show you who's giving away giveaways each day.
Yeah, so they can check in on that and then visit the booth that corresponds with the gift each day. That's
yes.
Great. Yeah, we'll have some giveaways too, so people should definitely visit our booth as well.
Yeah, sure.
I might add that the service of remembrance will still be done on Thursday. And so that's a great opportunity to honor our funeral service colleagues, family, and friends that have passed away over the last year.
Can you just talk a little more about what that is for people who may not know?
Anthony?
The service remembrance is for people that have lost their life or loved ones in our industry that have lost a loved one. And what we do is we put, and it always gets bigger and bigger, we always dedicate that time for those people to also mourn their loved ones. So it's a very touching ceremony that we do. So I highly recommend people to go there and get involved with it. I really do.
Having remembrance services during times of social distancing has been a big theme among our clients. So what a great way to still be able to incorporate that virtually. I know it's really important to people.
Yeah, we have a good theme this year too. We're concentrating on, first responders and loved ones in that realm. So it's going to be very, very touching.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Sounds really nice.
Yep. So for anyone who's never attended one of these conferences, do you have a recommendations for how they can get the most out of it? Things they should do or not do?
Sure. I think in this case, where everyone that registers for the convention, we're going to let you into the platform early. So you'll receive at the end of this week all of your password and your login information, as well as a video tutorial on how to get around the platform. So to get the most out of that platform, I think it's a great opportunity for you to go in, navigate around, get used to it, see what's going on in the expo hall, and just familiarize yourself with it so that you're able to, go through all the education things you want to, you can get a preview, go through the sessions you want, sign up for the sessions you want, and really take a look at the different things that are being offered so you can, make sure that you're able to get the most out of it you can. Additionally, this platform's open 24/7. So while it's virtual and virtual live, if you will, during the day, all of the sessions are recorded and you can go back and rewatch something you watched or watch something perhaps that you didn't get a chance to see. You maybe during one of the education sessions, there's 3 classes offered every education session. So you pick one that you want for CE credit, but maybe there's another one that you think would be really interesting to learn more about. You can go back and watch that then. And that whole area, including the Expo booth, is open through October 31st.
Oh, that's terrific.
Which is great. Yeah, which is great because we always get calls. It's so funny because we get calls after the convention all the time saying, "Oh, I remember this booth. It was a green booth. I think it was on in the first half. Do you remember what company it is?" So now our attendees will have the opportunity to go back in and you can do more research for the people that they couldn't get to.
That's terrific. And I think, Troy, maybe one of the things you were saying when you were talking about going back and watching things, do people have to be in person for the CE credit, but they can watch? Yeah.
Yes, they do have to be in person for the CE credit. And there will be a small, you log in, you have to be in for 50 minutes of the course, and then there will be a small evaluation at the end. But you can still go back and watch other classes for the knowledge that's there. So different states have different requirements that require you to be there live, but you still at least have access to the information.
Yeah, that's terrific. And that's good information for people to know ahead of time so they can really plan their day around where they need to get that CE credit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, terrific.
And in the platform, everybody is allowed to create their own schedule. So you're allowed to go in, and that's why I encourage people to go in early to learn the navigation, because you can fill in your own schedule and then just follow that throughout the course of the event.
That's great. Yeah, I think that planning ahead aspect is really nice and will, obviously help people make the most out of their time and keep them focused, which is good.
That's the important part too, right? So keeping focus, right? Because people say, "Oh, I'm going to be in my funeral home." Yeah, well, you know what? You would have blocked out the time anyway that you were going to be away, right? For the on-site. So block out that time still. Tell your staff, "Listen, I'm going to be at the NFDA convention. I'm going to block out this time. As a matter of fact, I'm going to block out this time, but you know what? After I'm done, I want you to block out some of your time to watch some of these other things." So it gives them an opportunity to obviously block out some time and be really focused.
Definitely. So could you guys talk a little bit about who is speaking at the convention and kind of what topics people can look forward to?
Absolutely, love to. Our keynote speaker the first day is Simon Sinek, talking about the infinite game. So yeah, Simon is one of the leading business speakers out there today, and his view of how to run a business so that you get a lot out of it and you leave it with more than, when you leave, you still leave it with more versus, just worrying about, finite things like what's the market say or what were our numbers this quarter. It's more about the holistic view of the company. Mika Solomon is one of the leading, there it is, ignore your customers. Yeah, he's one of the leading customer service advocates out there today. And Brett Culp is a filmmaker. And so all of them are just have some wonderful messages and tons of great business things, tips and tricks that will help you improve what you're doing.
Yeah, Micah did he's actually a senior provider or writer for Forbes magazine also. He did an article about, I guess, maybe a month or two ago with a few funeral directors and myself in Forbes, and it was a great article for customer service.
That's
I should add that.
Go ahead, Troy.
I should add that there's some great education sessions, and I'm just going to give you a few names, but some of these folks have been to convention before, but they've been incredibly popular, and they always come back with a new message. Kaiser and Bender are going to be there. Michael Sharkey's going to be there, talking about staying out of the courthouse. Just a wide variety of sessions on cremation and embalming. So, kind of sharpening the back wheel skills or the front wheel skills, just depending on what you're looking for. So,
and some of the entertainment things that we're doing, we have like a therapy. It's really going to be great. We have a therapy dog race that's going to be really great. We have a mentalist that is going to be available to people. So there's a lot of fun entertainment things too. So when you need to take that break, when everyone needs to take that break from the screen, they can go and research those kind of things to do as well.
It sounds like a lot of really interesting options for people. And I'm really excited about Simon Sinek. I've followed him for a long time. And I have to say that as a vendor, I almost never get to go to those because I'm busy with the booth and networking and stuff like that. So it's exciting for me to be able to watch some of the other presentations this year.
I don't know if being that you're a Simon fan, I don't know if you listen to his podcast, but he recently did a podcast with his sister Sarah. I highly recommend you go back and you listen to that podcast.
Okay.
Because it's all about grief.
Oh, I will go and listen to it. He's really terrific.
Yes.
I think the other thing everyone should know is that all of these speakers, the Q&A with them is live. So even though this is a virtual convention, all of the speakers are there answering the questions you're putting in the chat box on a live basis. So it's a chance to ask them whatever you want.
That's very cool. Great. Go ahead.
So can you guys chat a little bit about who can attend the convention and how people register?
Sure. Anybody can attend, an NFDA member or non-member, funeral service folks in other parts of the industry. You can register by going to nfda.org and just looking up our convention. You can register right online. Again, as I mentioned, there's if you're a member with several people, that you want from your firm, there's a price break after that first person. So, but generally speaking, it's a very affordable.
It's a great opportunity, really, for everyone that, especially for everyone, in a firm to really get together and really do it all together, right? I mean, have a pizza party with your staff. Turn the monitor on, talk about it. Ask questions to your staff. This is a great opportunity for that to happen.
I think that's a great point. And I'll ask you what you're most excited about for the conference. Just like if you had to pick one thing, what would that be? But I will tell you that, so I've been at Funeral Innovations for 2 years. I'm new to the business, to the profession, but the NFDA conference was my very first day on the job. They flew me 2 years ago. So they flew me in just to go to the conference. And then I actually didn't start work for another week, but it was such a great opportunity as my first exposure.
Sounds familiar, huh, Troy?
Yeah, it does actually.
Did you do that too?
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much.
It's a great introduction. So what are you guys most excited about for the conference?
I think I would have to say, Simon is probably up there, because I'm a big fan of Simon's as well, and I followed him for a number of years. And I think for this year in 2020, if we were to have anybody during this time, is definitely someone like Simon. Simon is very optimistic, to the future. So my hope is that he'll get that point across very clearly here.
Yeah, I'm a big follower of Simon too, but since that's already taken, I think what I would say, I'm most excited about the fact that everyone can interact with the speakers and ask questions and get answers right then and there. And you can, I think in a lot of cases, and Anthony's been on a lot of virtual conventions this year as well, virtual meetings. We all love to be there in person, but I think when you can't, I think this convention is going to offer you as many opportunities to ask questions and network as is possible when you're in a virtual environment. So I'm excited about that.
That's great. Yeah, that level of interaction is important. And obviously, I think a lot of people are excited to see kind of how that develops in this format. Obviously, there's been a lot of changes since the pandemic, things going virtual as one of them. Are there any recent trends you've seen that funeral professionals should be, paying attention to that, you'd like to share?
Well, I think just this idea of virtual communication is huge, obviously. Depending on what the rules for doing business were in your state, I think a lot of funeral homes have found that, from virtual initial meetings with families for the arrangement conference to live streaming services so that people can see them. This is a technology that's going to be part of our business? And will it, not replacing the other part of our business, but adding on. And I think that Anthony and I have talked about this, that this unfortunately, not through a great situation with COVID, but one of the things that it has done is maybe it's moved our curve ahead a couple of years, and it's forced us to look into some of these new technologies that are out there that I think can work hand in hand with the way we've always done business. It's just another addition to the way we serve families.
Yeah, and I think the other thing to think about too is that, when you talk to a family, the family doesn't have to make that what they feel is that dreaded walk into the funeral home, right? Now you can do it right in their own home. You can actually hop on the screen and talk to them right there. And especially when there's multiple people there, whether it be a granddaughter, a niece, a nephew, godson, any one of those that really want to get behind making the service a great service, can also be there to help them. And again, if families are in multiple locations, other states, it's a great opportunity for you to all hop on at one call and say, hey, what can we help you with? What are you looking to get out of this? What can I help? How can we celebrate this person's life? Here are some things that we have done. Here is, please include some of the things that you want to have done.
Great points. I think along these same lines, are there any predictions that you guys could make for the rest of the year or next spring? Things that you're anticipating changing or happening for the next 6 months or so?
Well, I think you're definitely going to find some people that are not accepting these technologies, that may be looking to retire and get out of the business, will be getting out of the business faster. And I think the people that are more apt to accepting technology and accepting it and really using it to their advantage and their opportunities, because there's a lot of opportunity here right now, especially in that realm, right? So those people that are optimistic will flourish. And you're going to see that probably in 6 to 8 months. You'll see that even more so as we get, I hate to use the word back to normal, because I don't think we're going back. I don't like that word, going back to normal. I think as we move forward and take a step forward, I think that's probably the more likely of those people being more optimistic.
I love that. And I'd like to reiterate that I keep hearing over and over from people, what you're doing now is going to set you up for your success in 6 months or 8 months. I just really hope people hear that you say that.
Well, funeral service is notorious for looking at technology, and not really looking at it from the forefront. But I think, like Troy said, I think it has sped us up a great deal. A lot of people now, I'll give you an example. We always had a web site license, for webcasting, right? So the webcasting license went through the roof starting in March, April, right? But again, it was always there. They didn't really utilize it that much. But now that they had to use it, now they're like, oh, this is great. And now that's a great advantage for a funeral home now to say, hey, we can offer this service and we have this capability. So now anybody from the United States can view your mom, grandmother's, grandfather's funeral. And I guess, too, the other point of that is it's not a lack of respect of not going to the funeral. It's the respect of now I can be included in the funeral. It's that half glass, half empty, half full kind of option.
For sure. Anything you want to add, Troy, or different?
I would just add that I think everyone should look at this technology and embrace it as another tool. It doesn't change or take away from anything you're doing. It just adds to your arsenal. And I think we often look at things that are different as kind of threats. And I think looking at it as just another opportunity can change your perspective on how quickly you're willing to adopt something. And frankly, there's an old book out there called Megatrends. But one of the things in that was way back when that book was written, back when Jesus was in my dorm room. the big thing about that technology that the author wrote about was how there was high tech and high touch. And almost always as higher and higher technology came into play, there was another soft side of more touch that came into play. And it was the way they melded those two things together to serve their customers. Those were the people that won. And I think we're there again. It's probably been at least 20 years since that book was written, but I think we're there again where a way for us to touch families in a greater way is going to be some of this technology.
Really interesting. Yeah.
And I think that's a great prediction. So we have one last question. This is the question we ask everybody. What is the biggest lesson you each have learned since serving in this profession?
Good question.
Wow. I guess I would say the biggest thing I learned, one of the biggest things I've been in here now 20 years in this profession, and I would have to say patience is one. Learn, and the other one I would say is actually don't be afraid to fail, right? I mean, people always say, if I did this right now, I don't know if it's going to work. Okay, well, if it doesn't work, okay, move on. Don't dwell on it, move on. That's one of the things I could say. And test. You're not going to know until you test it and you try it. So, I mean, especially in the funeral business, I know people are afraid, if I test something and it doesn't work, what's going to happen? It's the worst thing that can happen is it's not going to work. That's it. That's it, really.
I haven't been in funeral service for quite as long as Anthony. I've been about a year and a half in this industry. And I would say maybe the thing I've learned that I didn't realize before was what heroes funeral directors and funeral service people really are in their communities.
Absolutely.
So that is all the questions we have for you guys. Thank you so much, Troy and Anthony. We really appreciate your time. And thanks for joining us this week on Funeral Innovations, Trends, Tips, and Technology. So we'll be posting this video on our blog, on our YouTube channels, and you'll be able to access it on our Facebook feed. And we'll be back with another show soon, so check back in with us next week as well. If you have any topics you'd like to see discussed or anyone you'd like to hear from in an interview, make sure to comment it down below. And be sure to visit our website at funeralinnovations.com. Thanks so much, you guys. Have a great day.